showpiece on Thursday afternoon is without question the World Hurdle, and I'm joined once again by Claude, Tom and Bill to race through it and hopefully find you a nice big price winner. If we quickly look at the prices we've got here at Star Sports, we're 9-4 favourite big bucks. Can he do it once again? Annie Power, will she run? 5-2 second favourite. And then win at Fisher's Cross 6-1. More of that 7-1. Rule the World 8-1 along with Quevega and Zarkanda at 10-1. But I think the question is big bucks. Is he back? Can he win? Is 9-4 prohibitive price? Claude, all three to you.
9-4 sitting before the race, it might seem a short price for having been beaten last time, but I have a feeling that come the Thursday afternoon, the 9-4, if you've got it, it might be the bet of the bloody century, because I think he is a brilliant horse. I don't think that he lost a lot in defeat last time. I think possibly the riding tactics will be very different at Cheltenham this time. I did hear somebody saying that it was the exact word she used was pants to criticise, not to criticise Sam Twiston-Davies and etc. etc.
I think Nigel was struggling to do the weight, so he let Sam ride in for him.
I do think, and I was actually there when Andy Stewart and Paul Nicholls spoke to him before the race in the paddock, and they said, you know, we don't want to hide in this race. You know, if you think you can take it by the scruff of the neck, do so. But I think that in hindsight, dare I say, I think if Ruby Walsh had been on him that day, I'm absolutely certain he would have won, because he would have held him up for that surge that he has up the hill. The Nicholls camp are adamant. I mean, believe it or believe it not, they think that having a year off has been a benefit to him. So there were valid excuses when he was. You don't believe me?
I think benefit maybe given the choice of having it off for you or not. I think I know which they choose, Claude.
Well, he had very seldom. He never had many races, did he? I mean, 3 in a whole season.
Someone once said to me, make the best of a bad situation. I think that's what they're doing.
My girlfriend recently said it'll do you good to relax and go to Las Vegas for a week. It doesn't necessarily mean she thinks that's the truth.
But I know you're an expert on more of that. I should warn you that John Joe has been telling people that 4 out of 4 never been beaten, as you well know.
I could probably tell you all about all 4 times.
But John Joe's making noises about, there's been problems, may go to Aintree, and I think when a trainer says that so near to the festival, that suggests to me there has been a problem and that he won't be in the lineup.
Well, thanks for taking care of more of that, because I did allude to before we came and film about how my little knowledge about the horse, and we can scan over that. I think the most fascinating thing for me is whether Annie Power runs or not, because if she doesn't, then I think it's quite weak in behind big bucks, and he could go off mega short like you've alluded to. Annie Power would be my selection if she ran, but at this stage we really don't know. At Fisher's Cross, for me, probably the disappointment of the entire National Hunt season. At the beginning of the year, I thought this was just going to sweep all before it, and it hasn't done so. Tom?
Well, I think there are 2 key question marks. Is the full-time winner Big Bucks as good as he was? I think the jury's still out based on his comeback appearance in the Cleve Hurdle at Cheltenham. The second question, look at the front of the market for the race. And you see, at this stage, for all that Quevega is 99.9% certain to go for her race. And we think that Annie Power probably will end up here if her trainer gets his wishes his way. We think that the owner, Rich Ritchie, is absolutely adamant that he'd want to go for the, if you like, the sexier target, which is the champion hurdle over 2 miles rather than 3. Then all of a sudden that gives this a whole different complexion. If she runs, I'd take issue with what Claude said. This 9-4, will it be a big price? Or actually, if she's there, and if some of these horses stand their ground, if the noises are more encouraging about more of that, if at Fisher's Cross builds on that good run last time, could it actually be that the bookmakers look to attack big bucks on the afternoon? And 9-4 could be skinny, and in fact, he could be a 3-1 shot. So personally, at 9-4, I wouldn't be rushing to back big bucks right now. Silence. Annie Power, if she turns up, definitely, I'm with you. She'd have to be the one. At Fisher's Cross has been in too many battles. More of that, as you say, might end up in Aintree. Rule the World each way chance. Zarkanda, Luke, I quote, he gets beaten by everything nowadays. Monksland, well, he had a big chunk out. Is he as good as he was? And then you look at the remainder. I mean,
benefit of a year off, perhaps, Monksland.
There's been money, silence. And then there's been money. I mean, you look at it's a really peculiar market because close to the race, there's been bits and pieces for Celestial Halo, Why on Earth? And there's even been money for last year's Martin Pipe Conditional Jockeys winner, Salubrious, who was nibbled at massive prices. So you stop and you think to yourself, if those close to these horses are backing Celestial Halo and Salubrious, that can't be a great sign for big bucks. Therefore, if Annie Power turns up, she has to have the power. So what is she? 2-1, 9-4, 5-2. I think at this stage, and it's an if she's there. For me, Bill, she's the one.
Yes. I think the one thing we haven't said is her price is going to depend on the 7 Willie Mullins favourites running on the Tuesday and Wednesday. If suddenly he goes 5-6 winners, this will go off mega short. But Bill, winner of the World Hurdle, please.
Tricky one. I was desperate to back big bucks for the World Hurdle. As soon as they crossed the line, I thought, what a great comeback. And then as you digest it, you think, was that so good? You know, who's he been beaten by? And then you get the seeds of doubt and you read a lot and you take stuff in, and I'm not sure. I think the market will be interesting. You know, you've got a different view to Claude, but you know, if Big Bucks is a 3-1 and bigger, we've got a problem if you're a Big Bucks fan, because I think the market won't let him go off that price if he's back to his best. Annie Power, will she, won't she? I think this will be her race. Whether she stays, whether it's the right race is a different question. I think the right race for her is probably 2.5 miles. She'd have to settle and hurdle fluently to get the trip. For me, a bit boring. The price is gone, but Rule the World each way. I've always loved the horse. I love Mounts Morris as a trainer getting horses to Cheltenham, and the Irish won it last year. I think Rule the World is this quiet, softly horse where everyone might suddenly expect Big Bucks and Annie Power to fight it out, and then along comes, who's this? Rule the World. So for me, I would be Rule the World purely each way, because I think the step up and trip will help. And I think he ran a very hot Neptune last year, and he would be the each way bet for me.
And just one thing that Bill's inspired there. You think to yourself, with Oscar Whiskey off the scene, think about the Aintree Hurdle for Annie Power in April. Yeah. There's got to be people already looking at that, thinking exactly what Bill's just said. 2.5 miles, that type of track, bang, that could be hers for the taking, couldn't
exactly.
it?
Right, selections. I'm going to put up Zarkanda. I'm not really. No, if Annie Power runs, Annie Power will be my selection. Claude?
I'm going to stick with Big Bucks.
Tom?
Something's got to change eventually, and all right, he wasn't around to defend it last year, but even if he's there this year, if she turns up, it has to be Annie Power.
Yeah, Rule the World each way for me. I wouldn't mock Zarkanda though. Does stay.
Won't win. With whatever you back in the World Hurdle, all the best of luck.